Bakit siya humingi ng confidential funds to begin with? Ito yung importante. Bakit siya humingi ng confidential funds to begin with? One of the things was, there are certain schools that are very vulnerable to insurgents. Pinapasok, there are videos even on YouTube na nakikita natin na actually pinapasok. There are overt acts of violence in schools, which are supposed to be zones of peace. Bukod pa dyan, there are activities that could lead to kids as young as high school age na sumama dun sa mga insurgents, magrebelde. That was the gist. Of course, merong iba na, well, you want to prepare, you want the other funds were supposed to be not just to ensure the security, the physical security of the schools, but to prepare the children to be able to resist the propaganda of recruitment by by insurgents. So medyo hindi naman nakakagulat, it cut even more deeply na nagkaroon ng alyansa si Speaker Martin Romualdez with the Makabayan Bloc. Ang Makabayan Bloc, identified yan with the CPP, NPA, NDF. At ang matagal nang sinasabi ng LCAC sa at ng FTF-LCAC before has been that these above ground, these legitimate organizations such as yung ACT Teachers Party List and other similar organizations ay tumutulong sa doon sa mga designated terror groups. Lumabas po ang part 3 ng interview ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. And it seems to me quite one of the heaviest of all of the segments. Well, one can be considered one of the heaviest of the segments because she not only did she now identify two people who are the most responsible para dun sa budget, sa national budget, yung talagang nagko-control ng national budget, ngunit ipinakita pa niya ang alyansa doon sa Makabayan Bloc with Speaker Martin Romualdez at yung machinations nila, yung mga ginawa nila para to spring on Inday to attack her at precisely this last budget hearing. Sipin mo pang ilang taon pa lang na nagpa-budget hearing, pangatlo. VP Inday knew that this was coming. Alam niya na padating yung atake. Alam niya na may gagawin sila. So one of the things that she did prior to this budget hearing was to resign from the Department of Education. Kasi alam niya na hindi siya papayagan mag-succeed. Hindi siya papayagan itong mga ditong unholy alliance, itong mga kongresista na mag-succeed as department secretary. They would find ways para they would find ways and just find more ways para mag-stumble, para magkaroon siya ng mga hits tawag sa Commission on Audit. They would always find something wrong with what she has done. And magninitpick sila at magninitpick and make it explode it, make it look really bigger than it actually is in order to try to destroy her. At yun na nga, nakita niyang padating at nangyari na nga. So ang sinasabi niya doon sa na she knew na paghahandaan siya doon sa budget hearing. At yun na nga, sabi niya, ayan, may dumating, naka-PowerPoint presentation pa. Merong isa na, hindi ko mabasa lahat ng attachments, mahaba ito, hindi ako ready, ay sus, pero may prepared speech. So, nakita nyo na in less than 3 years, there was a short like honeymoon period, di ba? Pero, where akala natin okay lang, akala niya that she was part of a team, that she was building up the team, that she was okay with this team, yung pala, umpisa pa lang ay niloloko na siya. And in this time, meron siyang mga resibo. Kitang-kita naman na pumasok ito sa record. But what she did was to narrate kumbaga, yung journey towards this. So, ano yung nangyari? Confidential funds. Bakit siya humingi ng confidential funds to begin with? Ito yung importante. Bakit siya humingi ng confidential funds to begin with? One of the things was, there are certain schools that are very vulnerable to insurgents. Pinapasok, there are videos even on YouTube na nakikita natin na actually pinapasok. There are overt acts of violence in schools, which are supposed to be zones of peace. Bukod pa dyan, there are activities that could lead to kids as young as high school age na sumama dun sa mga insurgents, magrebelde. That was the gist. Of course, merong iba na, well, you want to prepare, you want the other funds were supposed to be not just to ensure the security, the physical security of the schools, but to prepare the children to be able to resist the propaganda of recruitment by by insurgents. So medyo hindi naman nakakagulat, it cut even more deeply na nagkaroon ng alyansa si Speaker Martin Romualdez with the Makabayan Bloc. Ang Makabayan Bloc, identified yan with the CPP, NPA, NDF. At ang matagal nang sinasabi ng LCAC at ng FTF-LCAC before has been that these above ground, these legitimate organizations such as yung ACT Teachers Party List and other similar organizations ay tumutulong sa doon sa mga designated terror groups. So, hindi nakakagulat na nung na-propose yung confidential funds noon, ang pinakamabigat na tutol ay galing dito sa block na ito. At binantayan nila yan, waiting and lying in wait until such a time as pwede nilang atakihin yon. Hindi nagtagal yan. Within a year, after she had asked for confidential funds, hiningi niya ito in 2003, 2014 na trabaho na siya. So itong year na 2004, when VP Inday Sara went to the budget hearing ng Office of the Vice President, alam niya na ang nasa harap dyan, ang forefront dyan, na attacks would be coming from the Makabayan Bloc. Maaga pa lang, and this is how long nila inintay at kung gaano katindi yung pagtatrabaho, binigyan siya ng confidential funds. Pero saan ang galing yun? Congress didn't want to give it to her. Sino ang nagbigay? Surprisingly, it was the Office of the President. Uulitin ko yan para dun sa mga magugulo sa Kongreso. Sino ang naggawa ng desisyon na bigyan ng confidential funds ang Vice President, who was concurrently Secretary of the Department of Education? It was the Office of the President. Ano pa ang pruweba natin dito? Bukod sa OP ang nag-release ng CF kay VP Inday sa DepEd, the Office of the President signed on the National Expenditure Program. Yung proposal para dun sa CF na yon, tandaan natin, andun sa budget proposal noong 2023. Sino ba ang pumipirma ng budget proposal na yan, ng National Expenditure Program? Hindi ba ang Presidente? And the President would speak, sinusumiti yan yung mga proposals ng kada ahensya, isinusumiti yan ng mga heads of agencies sa Pangulo, sa DBM, and the final signatory is from the President. Andyan yan, in Inday Sara's term, nasa papel. Or, as we say, documented naman yan. So, sinasabi ng iba trap yun, pero ako, I'm not sure. It's a good theory. It's a good theory na binigyan siya talaga nun para yun ang gamitin para bakbakan siya. Pero I think, kasi in the early days, ang feeling ko is that there was still, at the start, a genuine attempt na meron talagang unity. Hindi siya nagtagal, of course. Hindi nga umabot ng ilang buwan Alam namin na within so many months, hindi pala tunay ang unity. So, ang desisyon ni VP Inday there were two major decisions gawa ng realization niya na ito. Number one, ang pagbibitiw niya sa Department of Education. Maayos siyang nagtrabaho. Maayos siyang nag-liquidate. Pero, pinagplanuhan siya. Kasi, ito na, dito, nung nagpo-propose siya ng confidential funds ng 2023. Okay? Nung nagpo-propose siya ng confidential funds ng 2023, ayaw na nila, di ba? Hindi na nila ibibigay. Kumbaga, siya, ang daming question nung nagpipresenta siya, not just in the Congress, but also in the House, in the Senate. Tapos, after pinaglaban niya, dinipensahan niya with the full belief na mayroon talagang nakikinig at mayroon talagang magbibigay dyan. Pero, yun pala, pinagplanuhan na siya. Sabi niya, di ba, susunod noon sa halimbawa ko ay yung budget of the Office of the Vice President. Kung makikita ninyo, September 2023, merong lumabas na press release, ang Makabayan Bloc. Sabi nila, may meeting kami with Congressman Martin Romualdez, pinag-uusapan namin ang pagtanggal ng confidential funds. September yon ng 2023. Sabi niya, pagkatapos nagkwento sa akin ng isang congressman, sabi niya, lumapit daw sa kanya si Congressman ko at sinabihan siya na tatanggalin namin ang confidential funds ni Inday Sara. Hindi ba siya magagalit? Of course, sinabi ng congressman na kaibigan ni VP Inday, kaya ni VP magtrabaho ng walang pera. Ang tanong pa ni Kong Zaldi, sigurado ka na hindi magagalit si Inday? Ang sabi ni congressman, hindi. Hindi nga nagalit si VP Inday, pero light bulb moment yun. Dinefend niya ng maayos yung sa OVP, tapos anong sabi ni Congressman Zaldi sa kanya? Unanimous decision ng party leaders under the leadership of Congressman Martin Romualdez. Tatanggalin namin ang confidential funds. At dahil sa, sabi niya, at para hindi halata na inaatake siya, yung ibang departments tinanggalan din. Sabi niya, kinunclude niya, so nakikita niyo bumulong ang Makabayan Bloc kay Martin Romualdez at dahil sa kagustuhan ni Martin Romualdez na hindi siya atakihin at dahil sa gusto niyang suportahan ang Makabayan at ang NPA, nakinig siya. At ang ginawa niya, tinanggal yung budget. Pag sinasabi ninyong NPA yan, iaangal yung mga yan ng red tagging. Of course, wala pong crime na red tagging. So, thank you kay Maverick. But the problem is, pag nag-accuse ka of a crime, so pag kunwari, designated terrorist group ang NPA, baka libel na po pag idinikit ninyo ang taong hindi NPA at ililabel ninyo na NPA. Bakit nakaupo pa si Castro, kapal ng mukha, harap-harapang sinasabi ni VP Sara na convicted? Baka nakaupo pa sa Congress, mabuhay. Bakit nakaupo pa? In-explain ko na po yan ilang beses before, kaya nakakatulong po talaga pag consistent kayong nanonood dito. So just the short version, hindi pa po final ang decision convicting Congresswoman Franz Castro. So ibig sabihin, may pagkakataon siya mag-appeal at nag-appeal nga po siya. Habang naka-appeal yung kaso, may presumption of innocence yan, although there is evidence as to guilt. So para mag-remain sila sa labas at hindi siya nakakulong, nasa piitan habang nag-iintay ng resulta ng kanyang apela, mayroon pong siyang ginamit na motion for bail pending appeal. Nandyan yan sa rules of court. So pagka ginrant yan ng hukuman, maaari siyang nasa labas despite her conviction by the lower court. Now, merong nagalit sa akin at ang sabi, bakit ang mayayaman lang ang nakakalabas? Pag mayaman ka, makakalabas ka kahit convicted ka. Ganito po yun, kung abot kaya ng kahit sino yung kanilang bail, then available din po yung remedyo na yan o yung ano na yan, yung motion na yan sa kahit sinong akusado na na-convict ng lower court. Nagugulat lang ang mga tao kasi bihira po gamitin itong motion ng bail pending appeal. It might be the lawyers who sometimes are not aware of this or hindi siya nag-a-apply. Kasi unlike ang bail, which is a matter of right, pagka bail pending appeal, discretion yan ng judge. Pwede yang i-deny. Okay? Huwag niyong sasabihin, this is not proof na pag mayaman makakalaya at pag mahirap hindi. Kasi the rule will apply to anyone. Ngayon, kung sasabihin ninyo malaya lang ang nakakalabas kasi nakakapag-bail, bail nga is an opportunity for anybody to be able to get out. Meron pa ngang bail na recognizance. Pwede po yun. Kumbaga, ina-allow sila na nasa labas habang nililitis yung kaso for very minimal amounts kung mababa ang risk na tumakas yung tao. They were successful in their goal to malign the VP so that some teachers say they were disappointed. They are so sinister. Totoo yan. And unfortunately, marami sa ating mga kababayan ay kulang pa sa capability for critical thinking. So yan po ang dapat natin tinuturo. Kapag kulang po sa critical thinking, yung mga ganyang katsipan na propaganda will work. That is up to us now to counter-propagandize. Di ba? Sabi ni Zero, paano yan hawak ni MR ang majority ng House at Ombudsman? First of all, wala nga dapat humahawak kay Ombudsman. And I don't think that we should accuse the Ombudsman very lightly about something like that. Kasi ang insinuation na ganyan ay sinasabi ninyo na nai-influence si Ombudsman. Without any evidence, kahit man lang yung reasonable belief, hindi dapat natin sinasabi yan ng walang dahilan. Hawak ni MR ang majority ng House. Bakit? Ano ba ang habol natin? Also, I think we should also watch ourselves. Yung question na, paano yan? Already speaks of hopelessness. Kung wala tayong hope, bakit tayo lumalaban? You could ask, how do we do this? Pero yung sasabihin niyo, paano yan? Parang, di ba? Parang wala nang hope. Look, we've done this before. Bakit kayo nagre-rely sa Kongreso? Ano ba ang kailangan natin sa mga kongresista na mawawalan kayo ng pag-asa simply because Martin Romualdez is there? Umaasa kayo ng impeachment. Bakit tayo magpapa-impeach ng presidente? There are more ways than that to skin a cat, di ba? Okay, ito tatalakayin natin muli. At gusto kong i-correct ito. Hindi ko alam kung saan ninyo napulot na ang party list ay masama. Ang mga tao masama. Pero yung party list system was designed to empower the weakest members of society. Yung mga minorities, people who cannot build up a majority, people who will not win if it is a district-based election because they represent very specific interests that the Constitution allows to be protected or even names to be protected, such as, but not limited to, senior citizens, IPs, women, children, specific groups. Pinoprotektahan yan, binibigyan sila ng representante sa Kongreso para kung may ginagawang batas, naririnig ang panig nila. Pagka may mga batas na kailangan ng mga sektor na yan, maririnig sila, mapa-file yan. Bakit nyo gustong tanggalin ang party list? Yan ay isang weapon na pwedeng gamitin natin sa mga kongresistang na ano ba yan? Kinain na ng sistema. Yes. Pero somebody taught you to attack it. Bakit? That is the last thing. Alam nyo, ang totoo niyan, it was because pinaubaya natin yung paggawa ng batas enacting the constitutional provision doon sa mga taong may interest. Right? Ginawa, inalaw nila na gamitin yan ng mga non-members of the sector. I'm not sure if it was the Supreme Court or it is in the law. So, ang mga nakakagamit yan, dahil kunwari, may grupo ng security guards, hindi kailangan security guard ang nakaupo. And so, gagamitin yan ng mga kung sino-sino na lang. Instead of people with actual specific interests that are good for the public. So, ano yung dapat gawin? Hindi tanggalin ang party list dahil may umaabuso. Ang tanggalin, yung mga abusado. Kasi, this is supposed to help us. It's a way for us to be able, those of us who are weaker, who are not capable of winning district elections, to be able to win and be represented in Congress. Ngayon, kung mali yung paraan, yung formulation ng party list system, mayroong people's initiative. But you want to remove the party list system because somebody told you that that is the solution to abusive congressmen. Tanggalin yung abusado. Wag yung sistema. Wag yung party list. What if there is a group, I'm very interested in protecting the weakest members of society, such as children, animals, if necessary, the elderly, and so on. Paano sila ma-represent sa Congress kung tatanggalin ninyo yung party list? Kapag kasi tumatakbo ka sa distrito, you want to please as big part of the population as you can. And so kung puro minority issues ang sinusulong mo, hindi ka maboboto because other people will not care. So now you want to remove it. Somebody taught you this para lalong ma-oppress yung minority. O sasabihin niyo kaso nagagamit sa ganito kaso, di tanggalin natin yung mga taong gumagamit. O what if may abuse of power? There's abuse of power everywhere. Nag-elect tayo ng presidente, abusado. Tinatanggal ba natin yung office of the president? Do we do that? May people's initiative. Pwede natin baguhin yung batas. Unfortunately, the longer these congressmen stay in power, the more we vote for these people who na abusado, who are interested in protecting the status quo, they will just keep making laws that benefit them. The party list system is only one of these laws, but somebody told you that this is the cause of so much abuse in Congress. Galit kayo kay Saldico, tanggalin si Saldico, wag niyong botohin yung party list niya, pero gusto niyo tanggalin niyo yung buong party list. Paano si Congressman Marcoleta, party list siya? Tatanggalin niyo yung party list system, paano na siya? Diba? Kaya nga, amyendahan, palitan natin yung batas. Pero kung tatanggalin niyo yung party list system, which you can't do, by the way, without changing the Constitution, ang nang mangyayari sa atin? Para tayong nagsasabi na, ang daming mga komunista sa school, sunugin natin yung school. Pwede ba yon? Is that the correct solution? Does that solve anything? Hindi ko alam kung sino nag-propagandize niyan. Pero clearly, they did not have your intentions in mind. They did not have the intentions of people who genuinely can be empowered. Nung narinig nyo na si Congressman Marcoleta, tumigil na. Sabi ni Bien, may party list system ba sa parliamentary? Teka muna, may formula ba lahat ng parliamentary? Di ba iba-iba sila depending on the country? So pwede yung ilagay pag parliamentary system, pwede rin tanggalin kasi tayo naman ang nagde-decide kung ano ang formula na gagamitin natin, kung anong form ng government. Ang problema, many people are so romantically enamored with certain systems na hindi pa natin alam kung bagay sa kultura natin. Sa Germany ganito, gayahin natin. Are we like the Germans? Is our culture, our history the same? Is our mentality the same? Do we do the same things? Do they eat rice? Sabi ni Salvador, bakit po kasi ang dami? Pag bumoboto ako sa party list, nanghuhula lang ako. Ang dami, nakalagay sa saligang batas. So when the people voted for the Constitution, nakalagay doon, porsyento yan. As long as it doesn't exceed the percentage prescribed in the Constitution, that's how many party lists will be allowed to win. Hindi, pag sinabi ninyong ang dami, that's relative. But there is a certain number that's allowed, percentage, as compared to the number of congressmen elected by districts. Ang problema, yung mga kongresista, gawa ng mga bagong district para ma-accommodate yung mga additional relatives nila, dadami din yung porsyento na ina-allow for party lists. Sabi ni Nico, is that ground for impeachment of a congressman? You don't impeach congressmen. Congressmen are not impeachable officials. Heads of constitutional commissions, constitutional bodies, and the president, the vice president, and the justices of the Supreme Court. Sabi ni Sakura, Mama Lias, dapat i-abolish na yan. O anong gusto ninyo? Mawala si Congressman Marcoleta? Ganun ba? Pakisagot nga. O nagtutrol ka lang after I explained everything? Noel says, dapat po ibalik ni Sarah ang unauthorized by Congress na 125 million confidential fund ngayon. Kung hindi niya maipaliwanag sa taxpayers kung paano niya nilustay ng 11 araw na ang pera. Ay naku Noel, hindi mo talaga naiintindihan ang proseso. Ano? Anong sabi sa saligang batas? No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Yung sinasabi mong ibalik-ibalik na yan, hindi pa nga tapos ang proseso eh. Yung decision ng COA ay hindi pa po final. Nauuna ka? Ha? O hindi ka lang talaga nag-aaral ng pamamaraan dito sa sa gobyerno? Or even worse, galit ka lang kay Inday at naghahanap ka ng dahilan kahit mali-mali yung sinasabi ninyo, para maibunton yung galit ninyo kay VP Inday. Sorry, not acceptable. O ayan, ganyan. At yung iba sa atin, pag tumitingin, para tayong nagsha-shopping ng mga liga, ng mga government systems. So, sabi ni Arjot, anong government system ang Singapore? Maganda yung kanila. It's not just the system, it's the people. Alam nyo, yung sistema nila, ginawa nila yon base sa kanilang experience at sa kultura nila. Sila po ay humiwalay sa Malaysia. Sila po ay meron silang sariling history at in-evolve nila yon nang aayon at nararapat sa kanila. Tayo naman, hindi tayo dapat nagsha-shopping, gagawa tayo ng atin yung bagay sa kultura natin. Ang problema, ang karamihan sa atin, hindi natin kilala sarili natin eh. Hindi natin alam ang ating kasaysayan, kaya we keep experimenting. Inggitera lang tayo na, uy, maganda yun, gusto ko yan. Kung bibili ka ng sapatos, dapat yung kasya, di ba? At dapat yung minaano mo dun sa paa mo, binabagay mo dun sa paa mo. Sabi ni Peter Baelish, masama rin talaga ang sobrang unity ng mga congressman, nawawala ang check and balance, wala nang upos ngayon. That's why nga, pag sinasabi ng mga tao, lalo na yung mga trolls, kasi yun ang turo ng mga operators nila, bakit yun nilalabanan ng gobyerno? Sumunod na lang kayo, dapat united tayo. Tingnan yung kongreso, tama ba yun? Yung hindi natin, yung wala kang maririnig na oposisyon. Tingnan yung panahon ni Duterte, very active tayo, bagulan sa social media. Hindi natin dinemand na, huy, sumunod na lang kayo, huy, mag-ano na lang kayo. Well, ako, I didn't. Ewan ko, baka merong iba dyan who did. Pero, in a democracy, the more voices, the more opinions, the better. That's why, yung pag merong nagsasabi sa inyo, i-abolish ang party list, the party list system allows for you the different voices that are not purely political because they have particular interests they're representing. Okay? Gusto nyo ba yung puro politiko lang ang nakaupo? So, you want as many different views as possible. And Congress was not intended to be homogeneous. Kaya nga may majority leader, may minority leader. Kinikilala natin na hindi dapat lahat yan galing sa isang partido. Pero meron kasing mga leaders na gusto nila shortcut. Instead of yung use of persuasion, instead of catering to the needs of the people, so that it would balance off the personal interests of the congressmen. Hindi. Gusto nila homogeneous. Kaya nga natatawa ako dun sa mga trolls na nagsasabi parati na sumunod na lang kayo. Stupid.